What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 49 of the RUDIS Wrestling Podcast. Brought to you, as always, of course, by RUDIS. What's going on in Columbus, Ohio, Mr. Matt?
Hey, it's finally looking like spring's here. Maybe it's here to stay. We'll see. But things
Absolutely.
are good. U.S. Open week. So anytime there's a big time event with wrestling going on, it's obviously an exciting time around here. We've signed another athlete. We released that on Friday, Myles Martin, and
Welcome, Mymar.
Mymar, my man.
There we go. Now you got Mymar and Imar. So is RUDIS planning to get all the Mars? Are there any more Mars?
Yeah, Bruno.
Did you see that crackhead Bruno on Twitter today? I made a comment. He got his little UFC shirt and he's trying to do some type of strange shadow boxing. I commented on it.
So, we've found our next sponsored athlete there
you
on social media today. Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we're looking to announce another athlete this afternoon.
Oh, really? You haven't even told me who that is.
Actually, we can announce it because this won't come out until tomorrow.
After you announce it. Well, let's go, man. It's a surprise to me. I want to know.
Yeah, it'll be our second woman athlete. It's Kayla Miracle. Kayla.
Oh, okay, nice.
Has won a couple age group world titles. She's
pretty young still, right? I mean, if I remember right.
Yeah, she wrestled at Campbellsville for her dad, who ironically I grew up with her dad, Lee.
Really?
And he's from Ohio. We grew up wrestling together. He's the head coach at Campbellsville, where she won four national titles there. Was ranked number 1 all year last year and got beat at Final X.
Okay.
In the past year, she moved out to Iowa City, and now she's training full-time with the Hawkeye Wrestling Club in North Perry.
So the Hawkeye Wrestling Club actually has quite a few women right now, correct?
I believe they have 5 women. 5 women right now. So probably as far as RTCs go,
it's got to be the most, right?
I think by far.
Well, yeah, I know I got some insight, and I know Wisconsin's going to have a handful next year, but I don't think the number is going to be 5. So. And the Badger RTC did change his name to the Wisconsin RTC, which will also be announced very, very soon. Okay. Yeah, just FYI.
Any reason behind the name switch?
Yeah, so you actually can't use the university's logo. So the previous administration was using it, and then they were told to knock it off, and so they changed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's a woman up in Wisconsin we'd like to talk to. She's a little young right now, but.
Who?
Yeah, there's a.
Or you can't tell me. I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, yeah, we'll see how things play out. Macy.
Right? Oh yeah, Macy's awesome. I remember her from time she was a little kid. She's doing really good things. I mean, she's only 18 or 19, maybe 20 years old. Yeah, we have a few. I mean, Wisconsin always kind of been a hotbed for women's wrestling. I don't really know why. I know there's been a bunch of support. It's kind of funny because we still have yet to get women's wrestling sanctioned at the high school level. And I think, and fittingly, we would have been like one of the first couple, but now I think there's about 10 that already have it sanctioned, and Wisconsin is still not one of them.
Interesting. So, is that on the docket for
the WIA,
Wisconsin State?
Well, the WIA, which is the sanctioning body, has turned them down. I know the WWCA, which is the Wisconsin Wrestling Coaches Association, has made a motion or whatever to add it, and the WIA has turned it down. So they do a women's high school state tournament, but it's not officially sanctioned by the WIA, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got another girl, Jaden Laurent, who won a college national title, and she's made a junior world team coming up. And there's a handful of other young women who are really having a lot of success at the national level in Wisconsin.
Do any of these women train with you at AWA?
We do not have anyone that's on like a national level. So Jaden Laurent, who made a junior world team, I just mentioned her. She has done a few. She's actually. I'm trying to get a girls' class or club started, but she's very busy, so I can't get her that often. So that's been one. And then we have a couple of younger girls, but no one that's like achieved at a super high level to this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So hopefully in the future, I'll just be frank about women's wrestling. I think until the day where it's almost all women versus women. It's a challenge because what I see is since we've been open, we've had a lot of girls in our little kids class, like our 5 to 9 year olds class. And then, man, that number drops off so steeply as they get older because they got to compete against the boys. And Tommy Rowland said testosterone is a PED, and he's totally right. And so, the women, they're very highly competitive at a younger age, and then as they get older, they're less competitive, and that's just man, it's hard for a lot of them to handle the fact that for no reason besides the fact that they don't produce testosterone, they are they're a little less successful. So yeah.
Yeah, because at a younger age, from a skill and a competitive standpoint, I think it's a pretty level playing field for
Absolutely.
sure. I think the only hindrance on their success is their opportunity to compete or train, I should say, in a high level club that's going to develop their skills.
Yeah. So hopefully we can change it. I mean, I know I can tell you right now, just at the club I coach at, in our little kids class, we have 7 females. But then in our older class, we have 1 middle schooler and 1 high schooler. So it is tough keeping them around. Let's go. The other thing I wanted to talk about right off the bat, I know we're going to get into like a U.S. Open preview-ish, is Logan Stieber retired. And listen, the dude accomplished about damn everything there is to accomplish. And so I even had a few kids in my club like, why would he quit now? The Olympics is year and whatever. I don't want to hear it. The guy won 4 state titles, 4 national titles, a Hodge Trophy. And he won a world title. It's like, what else can you win? I mean, the guy did it all. And continuing to compete after college, it's hard. It is hard, And even to, I'm still 34. I'm still competing. So, it's kind of like I'm saying it's hard and I'm still doing it. But, man, I'm not motivated like I was when I was 19 or 20 or 21 or anything like that. And then I even remember even just in the year and a half after college that I competed in wrestling, it just got to be more of a grind than it was when I was in college. And I'm sure that's what he's feeling. And he's been competing at a high level since a very young age. And it just gets old sometimes. So, Logan, great career, great job. Everyone leave the guy alone.
Yeah, one of the all-time greats. And
all-time greats, yes.
With RUDIS being, headquartered in Ohio, and he's in our proximity to Ohio State. I mean, he's been someone that we're very aware of. And yeah, I mean, talk about a storybook career.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the guy's accomplished everything.
Literally
everything.
Literally.
And and I'm not privy to everything that factored into his decision, but I know he's recently married as well. So that adds another dynamic of life into the equation that you've got to factor out. But yeah, I mean, just great career, great ambassador for the sport, unbelievable person. And, I believe what he's jumping into, I think he's going to be coaching at the Ohio RTC.
And he said he's starting his own club also, which I don't know if that's true or false.
No, he's starting his own club, and I think it's going to be in Columbus. I'm not sure it's going to be at Ohio State or what the specifics of that are going to be. But yeah, I mean, we've all got to get to that point where we hang it up, right? And fortunately, he's one of those guys.
You know what, Matt? Honestly, bravo to him for just being man and doing it. I mean, there's so many guys who would be so scared to just say, "Hey, man, listen, I've had enough. I'm done." And they would just like go through the motions for the next year and a half to the Olympics, even though they didn't really want to do it. So I'm kind of like, I'm proud of the guy for just saying, "Hey, listen, I've done this for a long time, and I just don't really want to do it anymore. I'm done, regardless of when the Olympics are."
I mean, being honest with yourself, being honest with the club you're associated with. A lot of guys, especially in the day and age now of the RTCs,
where they're getting paid decent,
where you can actually make a living and train full time. I know there's a lot of guys just kind of hang around and more to collect a paycheck as opposed to motivated to compete at a high level. So you got to, that speaks to the integrity of Logan, how he's wired, how he's made up, that he's not willing just to do something for a paycheck. I know if he's going to be in it, he's in it to win it. And
man, Matt, there's some dudes. I remember when I was at the training center when I was just out of college. There's some dudes at least back then. I'm not at the training center anymore. Who they just didn't want to give it up. They didn't want to go live in the real world, so they just kept being a wrestler, even though they didn't really want to do it anymore.
Right.
So
yeah, kudos to him.
absolutely, I love it. And yeah, I mean, again, I had a few kids in my club say, "Well, he could have won the Olympics." Well, listen, the guy won a world title, highest trophy, 4 NCAA titles. That's about everything anyone could ever dream of. Good job, Logan.
Yep.
And hey, do you think? Speaking of that, do you think that if Logan had been in a slightly different era, he might even be more highly regarded? Because I feel like he put up bonus points at a pretty steady rate. And it just wasn't quite as high as the Taylor, the Ruth, or the Nolf, or the Rutherford. And so, he just kind of was, I don't know, maybe not viewed as highly as those guys. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Well,
Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think he was on the front end of, it seems now in 2019, bonus points, major decisions, pins, techs, that's a lot more prevalent now in our discussion when we're talking about dominance. But I mean, he was racking up bonus points left and right.
Yeah.
And maybe where he doesn't get the credit is because there was somewhat, if you want to talk about it, somewhat some controversial finishes at the NCAA tournament, like the Oliver match.
Just the Oliver? Or, I mean, none of his Ramos ones were controversial, were they?
No, but I hate it when people say, like, kind of put an asterisk by one of his NCAA titles, and, you can't do that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And honestly, him beating Ramos and him beating Oliver, that kind of, to me, that adds to his legacy, because it wasn't like he beat, not that there's nobody in the NCAA finals, but I mean, those guys are more than nobodies. They're both multiple time world team members. Super high level guys for him to beat to win the NCAA titles.
Yeah, they've both went on. Both those guys went on to stellar international careers. Oliver's still in the mix, but so in hindsight, his who he beat to win his NCAA titles is even more impressive.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get off Logan Stieber for a second. Pan Am's, man, I feel like there's only two matches to discuss. So first of all, America has a historic performance, 10 for 10. They win all 10 weight classes, and this is kind of, I don't want to say shocking, but Matt, I mean, when you looked at the team, Josh Rodriguez, Colton McChrystal, even Anthony Ashnault, who haven't seen done a lot of freestyle, these are not guys who you say these guys are going to go win Pan Am championships.
And it's never been done before.
Yeah.
I mean, we went 10 for 10 on the men's side of things. And let's not forget Greco and women both also. So it was a clean sweep.
Wait, we went 30 for 30?
No, not 30 for 30, but as far as winning the team titles, we won in Greco, women's, and men's freestyle. So I think, what did we have? 6 in Greco and pretty darn close to everything in women's. I'm trying to.
What happened to Cuba? I feel like they fell off. Is it just because everyone is? Are they favoring better ways to get out of the country or something? Because I mean, I follow international wrestling. I just don't follow it like I do NCAA wrestling. But in my day, man, Cuba always had really good teams, Matt. And now it feels like they got a couple good guys. Obviously, Chimizo. He hit the road. Did anyone else? Has anyone else snuck out that I'm forgetting about?
Not.
I don't.
Nobody
think so.
that jumps off the radar. Not like a Chimizo.
Yeah.
No. But they still had some. I know Cologne had a big win over.
That was huge. That was one big match. I got to watch that. So YouTube was funny. I went to YouTube and I went to United World Wrestling's page, and it said they had 105 matches for the Pan Am Championships, Matt. And I scrolled through the first 10 to see if there were anything I wanted to watch. And then it went to private. And so there was like 90 of the 105 matches were private. So you didn't even know what they were. You couldn't see them or anything, So I don't know if they're like waiting to release them or something to that effect. But yeah, you couldn't see any of those matches. So I think that, obviously the Burroughs Gomez, I've watched a few clips on Facebook, Twitter, but I have not seen the entire thing of that match. So Bone versus Cologne, man, I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of like watching paint dry, Matt. Neither one of them did a whole lot. And then Colon gets one takedown and gets 3 gut wrenches off the takedown.
And that's all he needs. I mean, he pretty much gutted his way through the tournament.
Yes.
Which kind of bolstered, the previous 3 episodes we've done breaking down, parterre,
absolutely.
Parterre offense. He is just devastating with his gut wrenches and just pretty much destroyed everybody from the parterre position.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Matt, you kind of can't shoot on Bone Rodriguez. I mean, that's essentially his best position is when you shoot on him. And he really relies on people just shooting on him and then, scoring points off of that. And so, Colon, it was kind of boring, but that's kind of what you have to do to beat Bone Rodriguez and to get a win over a world champion. That's huge. You know what? Actually, to reflect on that, Matt, I was thinking about that's the one thing I've never done in wrestling besides win a world title. I've never beat a world champion. I beat 2 world silver medalists. I beat many, many world's bronze medalists, but I've never beat a world champion. So I got a chance.
Well,
I got a chance.
You got a chance in a couple weeks, right?
Absolutely.
And Gomez was pretty close to that yesterday.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen the match in the entirety, but how the hell did Franklin Gomez get the 74 kilograms? He was such a small guy. He wrestled 125 for a minute. Then he wrestled 133, and then he somehow, he made I believe he made the world finals at 60 kilograms. Then eventually jumps up to 65 or 66, whatever it was in that era. And then I believe he was up to 70, and now he's all the way up to 74 kilograms. Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I've got a little bit more insight because I did
you used to coach
Franklin.
Him.
Yeah, I did coach Franklin. I coached him in 2011 when he made the world finals. The first world
that was a hell of a run.
Puerto Rico. He had a heck of a run.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's never been a guy that likes to cut weight. And he's
Who does?
Yeah. But he's got a pretty big frame and he just continued to mature every single year. I don't think was ever a big weightlifter, but has got more invested in his strength and nutritioning program over the course of the last 8 years. And so he's just naturally gotten bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And he's a guy, especially with day-in weigh-ins, he doesn't feel like he wants to cut a lot of weight.
And he doesn't look super shredded at 74 though, Matt.
No, he's not. He's not. Yeah, I don't think he's missing many meals for sure. But as he's continued to go up in weight, I mean, he's one of the few guys in the world that can probably match Burroughs' athleticism.
Yeah.
Which he did yesterday. I mean, position for position, kind of gave up some violated position there in the last 10 minutes or 10 seconds of the match.
Part of it is obviously bravo to Burroughs for just figuring out how to get it done because that's what you got to do sometimes.
And that's been his MO.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be one thing like, oh my gosh, Burroughs did this. He pulled the match out in a short time. Well, the guy's made a career of that over the last decade. Like, he's done that consistently. Like, so it wasn't a surprise. Obviously, I'm a little torn there. Because I used to coach Franklin, and I saw some breakdown in his positioning there in the last 10 seconds. That looking at it like, wow. But again, credit to Burroughs for putting him under duress in short time and forcing and imposing himself on Gomez there.
Yeah. Funny enough, one of the questions Mark Bader asked me last week, I did a little interview for Flow when we were talking about the Beat the Streets match with Burroughs. He said, so Ben, you're up with 30 seconds to go, or maybe it was Mike Mount, one of them. You're up with 30 seconds to go. On Jordan Burroughs, what's your strategy? I said, shit, that's a terrible position to be in. Burroughs, that's like Burroughs' best position. Like, you don't want to be up by like 1 or 2 points with 30 seconds left against Burroughs. That's like his specialty.
Yeah.
And that, there was only 10 seconds left this time when Gomez got that takedown. There was 10 seconds left, and Jordan still figured out a way to get the points. And Franklin, he down blocks the first couple of shots, and it almost looks like, for me, Matt, and listen, I knew the result. I was watching the film, and with 5 seconds left, Gomez is kind of like in a front headlock-ish and kind of has the hand on the armpit. I'm like, dude, how is it even possible that Burroughs wins this match? It's like
he should have stayed engaged in that position.
What in the hell? Yeah, I mean, but wow, I mean, it was just that's just what Jordan does. He just figures out a way to win. Yeah.
I mean, this is where, going back, tapping into my coaching reservoir there, you look at short time execution. And I think that's critical in freestyle, because you've got multiple options of how to score, either on a shot or a push out, or, there's some variables in freestyle that are different than folk style. And, one of those positions, what I called Burrow's position there in the last 10 seconds, is when a guy gets in panic offense mode, when he's over aggressive and he's, kind of not freaking out, but just being over aggressive just to get something. I'm like, what I used to teach in those situations is like, hey, stay offensive minded. Don't shoot just to shoot, but this guy's probably going to be opening himself up by being over aggressive. So look for your re-attack there. And if nothing else, if you get stuck underneath, as the world report breakdown indicated, it's much better to defend a front headlock than to defend a leg attack.
Yes, absolutely. Right? No, 100%.
And I think in that situation, all of a sudden, Gomez down block, and in the last 5 seconds, instead of down block and then head block, and his level came up and he reached instead of down block, which allowed Burrows to get under his hands, get to a leg, and then drive through on the finish. So I thought Gomez would have had the opportunity to at least fire off a re-attack, get to a leg, or get stuck underneath and defend the headlock, which probably he could have defended.
Well, to your point, Matt, the biggest mistake younger kids make, especially, and it kind of happened in this one. Not exactly, but they the guy, they're winning, the guy shoots, they stop, they have front headlock, and then they just let him out of the front headlock. Like, what you want to give him some more chances? Like, come on, man. Like, just keep that front headlock, maybe hit a go behind or something, but don't just give the man another free opportunity to go get you.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Okay. So those are the two best matches. Why did you said Salas forfeited to Snyder? That's kind of lame. You got anything about that? You got any inside information?
No, I haven't heard anything. Haven't talked to Kyle. I know they said it was an injury default, but I believe if you medal at the Pan Am Championships, you actually qualify the weight for the Pan Am Games. Yeah. So Cuba had qualified the weight for the Pan Am Games. So I don't know if he said, I qualified the weight, what's the point in wrestling in the final?
And then the qualification to the Pan Am Games, that is a qualification for the Olympic Championships.
Correct.
Okay.
So he kind of, without knowing the entirety of the situation, you could say, well, I qualified the weight and gave us an opportunity to qualify the weight for the Olympic Games. So what's the point? I kind of did my job in qualifying the weight. So I don't know if his intent was to win or just qualify the weight.
Yeah. Who knows? Salas Perez, he's a strange duck. He really is. You know what was interesting to me, Matt, is how many teams did not send representatives in non-Olympic weights. The 92 kilogram, Matt, that freaking bracket had 3 people in it. Some of those had 4 and 5. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the finances of the different governing bodies in these North American and Central and South American countries. I don't think they can afford. We see that at times at the World Championships. That,
they don't show up.
Countries don't. Mm-hmm. They don't send a full delegation of athletes, and I think that it strictly comes down to finances. So these countries have to pick and choose where they're going to be competitive at.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So obviously, it makes the most sense to do it in Olympic weights. Okay, so let's go. We're a little over halfway done. Let's hit a U.S. Open preview. I guess, you know what? Even more importantly, Matt, let's tell the people, because they loved our live shows at the championships. Both you and I will be at the U.S. Open. I will be coaching as well. I'm going to be a busy man this weekend. And we are going to hop on and do some live podcasting at the U.S. Open. We're thinking probably 2. I'm thinking, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's feasible. If we can squeeze another one in there, I think that could be good. But 2 for sure,
so maybe more. Yeah, so I was just thinking, the semifinals are 5 to 6:30 on Friday night. Maybe right after that would be a great time to pop in and do one. And then the men's finals So you got the men's finals, and that goes back to back with UWW junior final. With that UWW juniors, sometimes, Matt, they have more fun for me to watch, more fun weight classes because as we'll talk about in a second, with a lot of these senior level brackets, the final X representative is already picked. And so what that means is winning the U.S. Open does not get you a final X berth. And so some of these guys who have already pre-qualified for the trials by doing well at international tournaments or whatever, they don't have a huge amount of incentive to go to the U.S. Open because they're not getting a bye to final X.
Right. So just so the listeners have a better understanding, if you medal at the previous year's World Championships, you automatically sit and get an automatic berth to final X. So we have a number of our guys. What do we have? Burroughs, Dake, Taylor.
No, more than Cox, that. So Joe Cologne. So go weight by weight. So Gilman did not place. Cologne did. Stieber did not place. Green did not place. Burroughs placed. Dake placed. Taylor placed. Cox placed. Snyder placed. And Gwiz did not place.
Right.
Correct? Gwiz placed 2 years ago. So that's six. That's 6 weights where we already have a final X representative. We thought that might change with both 79 and 92 because we didn't know what was going to happen with Jaden and Kyle. But with both of them, it appears that they're accepting their final X place at 79 and 92. Which, hey, that's probably better for America, even though I don't know that it's better for them, Matt. I think you.
Yeah, it's better for the United States. Is it better for them individually in the Olympic year?
I mean, they must have made the decision that they think it is.
Yeah, for whatever their reasons are, they felt staying at their current weight classes is the best plan of action for them. So, who's it to us to argue that point? They feel comfortable where they're at and moving ahead. So, it should bode well for another strong U.S. contingent at the World Championships this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean it's like I said, best for Team America, but probably not best. I would say not best for those guys, but those guys have made the decision that is what's best for them. Okay, so
moving through. So jumping right into 57 kilograms. This is critical. The winner of this tournament advances right to final X, since we don't have a representative there based on the previous year's World Championship performance. So, it's a huge advantage, to win the Open this weekend at 57 kilograms.
So here's your, I don't know, I guess I'll give you your handful of top contenders. You got Darian Cruz. You got Dayton Fix. Man, I don't think Klamara and Pirelli are top contenders. Jesse Delgado is back, which we knew that because Isaiah Martinez told us that on the podcast a few weeks ago. You got Pan Am champ Joshua Rodriguez, Nathan Tomasello, Nick Piccinini, which I thought that was interesting because we don't see Nick Piccinini compete in a huge amount of freestyle events. Sebastian Rivera, Thomas Gilman, Vito Arujo, and Zane Richards. So, man, that is a deep, fun weight class.
Should be a ton of fun matches this weekend. So who's your favorite? I mean, how do you want to break this down? You want to go through everybody?
I mean, you got to go Gilman Fix, right? I mean, that one makes the most sense because those are the guys that wrestle in final X. They're proven. But in my estimation, Matt, this weight class is about the wild cards. You got Vito Arujo, who is great at freestyle sometimes, but sometimes doesn't show up that well. Sebastian, we haven't really seen him do a huge amount of freestyle. Tomasello, we haven't seen him compete in a while. I kind of feel the same way about Piccinini. I feel like he's way on the outside. So, yeah, I mean, Darren Cruz has not had a great freestyle run. So, I don't know. I guess I'd say Gilman Fix.
Yeah, I mean, based upon the last 5 years, who's made the team in the last 5 years, it's, you can't really go against the Hawkeye Wrestling Club. They've kind of had this weight class on lockdown.
Man, can we get a damn answer on? Can we get an answer on why Spencer Lee's not in this weight class?
Well, I guess we'll have to ask around this weekend. I don't really know. I haven't heard anything. Have you? And I
haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything.
No. I don't know.
Yeah, it's dude. I mean, I'll just talk to you, Spencer. Spencer, you have 14 months until the final Olympic trials, I believe. Let's wait. Is the final Olympic trials earlier next year, Matt?
I'm not real
Have
sure.
they
I need
announced?
to look
Okay,
at the.
I'll
I
Google it
need.
right now. Final 2020. Okay. Anyways, so Spencer, if you want to make the Olympic team in 2020, which why would you forego an opportunity? I mean, Matt, for certain people, like for me in 2004, I could compete, but I couldn't compete with the number one guys. Definitely couldn't. And
Right.
so, it was a good experience for me. I got some great competition, but I couldn't really make the team. But Spencer, I think we're all saying Spencer
Not
could
only can
make the
you
team.
compete, you can make the team, and
Yeah.
not just make the team. If you make the team, there's a good. I mean, based upon his previous world championship performances,
Yes.
he could actually medal, which allows him a clearer path to the Olympic berth. Right?
Yeah.
He gets to sit. If he happens to make the team, medals, he sits.
Yeah, a
For the final
gigantic
trials.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold
So
on.
I don't know. I mean,
I know Penn
you
State
would.
was the final. Penn State is holding it, right?
Yes.
So it's June 16 of 2020, I believe. Is what it looks like.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Spencer, I don't know. Spencer needs to get going. He better hurry up. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, so pick your winner. I'm gonna go with Dayton Fix because I can't pick Thomas Gilman.
Okay, so I will pick Thomas Gilman.
Solid pick.
My question to you, like, okay, so Fix has been up at 133.
Oh yeah, the day
year.
of double day of weigh-in. Oof.
Double day of.
That's a
just so
game, man.
people
That is
know,
a freaking game changer.
It is. So Fix looked like he filled out a little bit more. So I mean, I'm sure right away after the season, he's tried to shrink his body
It's hard
just a little
though.
bit.
Oh, now you're making me.
It is.
Now you're making me second guess myself. Dang.
That would be my one thing. How is he going to do not only on the one day weigh in, but the second day weigh in as well?
Yeah.
That's got to factor into things, and I know that's going to be a consideration when we get up to 165 kilograms as well. We've got some guys coming down from 70 kilograms, and how they'll be able to compete, with that same day weigh in. I mean, that's my one question mark. Outside of that, ability, his proficiency in freestyle, what he's done at the age group levels, yeah, I mean, should give you every indication that I would expect to see a Gilman Fix final. We'll see though.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. 61. So this is a spot for sitting out at the final World Team Trials, not Final X. Man, not too many new competitors here. Alan Waters, Tony Ramos, Cody Brewer. Cody Brewer just got a job at Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Congratulations to him. Yep. Johnny DeDulius, Jordan Conway, Nico Megaludis, Tyler Graff. So I mean, man, that weight class doesn't really have any new blood in it like 57 does.
Yeah, a lot of established guys on the national stage on the senior level stage for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
With Clone sitting out and actually.
And so wait, where's Deshaun Garrett?
Well, doesn't he sit to the World Team Trials? Ooh, doesn't he have an automatic berth to the World Team Trials?
I think you're correct. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so it's almost like, those two guys seem like they kind of clearly separated themselves from everybody else.
Yep.
Even though Megaludis has competed these guys, Tyler Graff
and Seth Gross, who was in the Finals U.S. Open, is still recovering from surgery.
Right. So this, we've got a lot of experienced guys that, so I would have to say, I mean, based upon this year, I mean, Nico's had a pretty good year so far. I think he went just in his most recent competition, 3-1 at the World Cup. So he wrestled well there. I know Graff is a guy. I mean, he's got a devastating gut wrench as well.
Yeah,
he's a guy that seems like when he's on a roll, things go really, really well. But it seems like, but when he's not on a roll,
for him.
yeah, I mean, it's either feast or famine with his results, it looks like.
So who are you picking?
I'm going to go with Mega Ludus.
All right, I'm going to go with Mega Ludus too.
Yeah.
Let's go Nico. All right, 65, one of the other most fun weight classes. Very, very deep. Again, this is for the spot in Final X. We have...
Now, this is a crazy stat.
Go.
This
What?
is one
Let's
that I've read through. The United States last world
we've done terrible at this weight class.
Which is crazy when you look at the amount of guys in the town and the accomplishments. I mean, for me, I look at this weight class, I'm like, I can't wait to watch these matches.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be one of the most competitive, exciting weight classes of the tournament. I think it's probably
what was the year? What was the year?
Weight class.
What was the year?
I think it was 2006
when
Bill won Bill won a gold medal.
So that
we're going on upwards of well over a decade now with a drought at this weight class where you would think this is
a premier weight class. I mean, it feels like it every time, but they're getting little to no production at the world level, which it is super bizarre. I guess maybe if you want to, try to think of a reason for it, which, we all like to find reasons for stuff, is it seems to be that the rest of the world struggles more with the upper weight classes than we do. And maybe that's because, America has large people. I don't know. I'm reaching. I'm stretching. It seems like we have great wrestlers here. I don't know why we can't do well.
We do. And if you go back to 2016, when Frank
that bracket was ridiculous.
Frankman, not only did he make the team, but he was 5th at the Olympics. He was actually, if people remember, he was like 3 inches away from the bronze medal. He had a single leg behind. He was circled all the way behind Chamizo, just couldn't get his knee to the mat, but he was all the way behind, looking for the score, just ran out of time and ended up getting 5th place. But that's one of our better performances in the last 10 years. Was Frank's performance at the 2016 games.
That's been bizarre because it's felt like we're going to have a really good representative there forever, and it just has not panned out for whatever reason. Okay, so let's go through this year's Matt. We are running out of time. We do this like every show. We run out of time, so we're running out of time. So we need to go speed round. Okay. Bryce Meredith, Colton McChrystal, who normally I wouldn't even throw in there, but he just won a Pan Am Championships. Dean Heil, Dom Demas, there's a fun one. We love him. Frank Molinaro, Jaden Ironman, Joey McKenna, Joey Lazor, Jordan Oliver. There's a lot of Jordans and Joshes in this bracket. Jeez Louise.
Yanni.
Hold on. Caden Gefeller, who we thought was injured. Mitch McKee, Nick Dardanes, Nick Lee. This bracket's got everybody, Matt. Tristan Moran, Yanni Diakomahalis, and Zane Rutherford. Oh, it's got everybody. It's crazy. It's wild. Bonkers. Okay, who are you picking?
I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Molinaro Oliver in the finals.
I'm offended by you. I'm going.
Who do you got?
Well, I don't know what the seeds are here, so I don't know who's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think Zane's going to win. I think Zane gassed Rutherford. Zane gassed out Jo in that one little pro match they had, and I believe there was a 3 kilogram allowance in there, 3 or 4, something obnoxious. And Jordan's got to make weight 2 days in a row at scratch. I think that's going to be hard for him. So I'm going to go Zane Jo with Zane taking the win.
Okay.
All right. 70 kilograms.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I'm second guessing already. Like one guy I never bet against is Johnny.
Yeah. I mean,
and I know he's been off the freestyle stage for a little while, but that's not because not by choice. It was due to injury.
Did you see what they announced today? Him versus Barang at Beat the Streets. Barang's one of my favorite guys to watch. He's a beast.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
The one thing I keep coming back with Yanni, and this is, I like the guy. I'd like to see him do well. But it's like, man, he just had 2 or 3 really close matches at the NCAA championships. And then we think back to what Zane did at the weight class above him. And Zane just hammer smashed everybody. Like, it wasn't competitive with Zane.
I think that has more to do with his style.
Think so?
Zane's style. He's a punisher.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody that watches Yanni would ever mistake him to be a punishing style wrestler.
Sure.
right?
No,
But
I agree, but it's just
I
like
mean,
Zayn was just
Zayn
so
just
far away from everybody else. No one was close to him.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go 70 kg. We got Pentelio, we got Sorensen, we have James Green, Jason Nolf, Jason Chamberlain, another. So this is the final X spot on the line, which is why everybody's here. Kevin Jack, Levon Mays, Nazar Kluchitsky, who's excited to see him back in this weight class. Ryan Deacon, and that's really it. Okay, go. Who do you want?
I'm going to go with James Green versus Jason Nolf.
I wish I
With
knew what the seeds were.
Nolf winning.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I really wish I knew what the seeds were here, Matt, because I want to say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then who is logistically in the finals. I think my top four in this weight class are Green, Nolf, Chamberlain, and Kulchitsky. Those would be my top four.
Yep.
Now, I don't know how they're going to be seeded, so I don't want – it's tough for me to pick. So I think the best guy in this weight class, in my opinion, is Jason Nolf, which is hard to say because James Green has been the guy. And then, I think Nazar can beat any of these guys also. So I'm interested to see how this weight plays out. I'll go with Nolf next topic.
Nolf next topic. I'm with that. I agree with it. I guess for the remainder of the weight classes, since we won't know the seeds until the day before, we're better off just who we think are the two best guys and who we think are going to win.
Yes. Okay. 74, Alex Marinelli, Anthony Valencia, Dan Valamont, Evan Wick.
I'm just going. I'll jump in and just say Isaiah Martinez.
Jared Freier's back in the mix. Joey LaValle, Logan Massa, Tommy Gant.
I'm going to go with Isaiah.
All right, I'm going to go with that.
I'm not even going to go with the number 2.
I'm going to go with Isaiah also, and he shut everyone out last year.
Yeah, I mean, he rolled through everybody last year. He was pretty much uncontested, and it's a very similar weight class this year. Outside of the wily veteran, Jared Freyer. Watch if you shoot on that guy, he's going to chest lock the crap out of you.
One of the best chest locks in forever.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's going to, especially up weight, up 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
Really, right?
Well, yeah. Essentially, I mean, he should be 65.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Next weight class, we got Dieringer, Marsteller, Joe Smith. That's a lot of Oklahoma State connections right there. Who else? Nathan Jackson. And that's 79 is it's a pretty small weight class. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just go with one here. That's Dieringer.
Yeah.
I mean, he's established himself. I mean, he's a top 5 guy in the world. Maybe even higher. He could be top 3. But I think it's a pretty tall task for any of those other guys in the field to even compete with Dieringer.
Yeah, I would agree. It would be interesting if Zahid was here and Mark Hall. They are not. I don't know why. I'm gonna say the same thing I said to Spencer Lee. Get your butt here.
You know what I find interesting? Like when we're getting into these upper weights, we're more competitive on the international stage, but there's much less depth as opposed to what we were talking about at the lower 5 weight classes. You could make an argument for 4 guys at 57, 61, 66, 70, but then once you get above that, it's like, what are we going with? We're going with Isaiah, we're going with Dieringer, and that's pretty much, kind of holds true throughout the remainder of the weight class as well. I mean, there's not much discussion out of the top 2 guys when you're talking about.
Well, you know what? One thing that I'll say that I guarantee affects this is that essentially there's 4 weight classes for 2 weight classes, meaning that 86, True. 92, 97, 125, those all kind of lean towards 197 and heavyweight. I mean, especially the last 3. And so you're having less college weight classes for more international weights where like 65, you're going to get some 33s who get bigger. You're going to get almost all of the 41s. You're going to get some of the 49s. You might even get a couple of 57s that drop down because 70 is not an Olympic weight class. So I mean, I think that plays into it huge.
No, without a doubt. And it's almost Yeah, I mean, you're almost at the mercy of the weight class, hoping that your body fits into the category you're trying to wrestle at. Because a lot of times it's kind of out of your control based upon, what your comments were.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, yep. Let's go. 86 kilograms. This is a David Taylor's weight class. Whew. Matt, I'm not seeing Max Dean, Myles Martin, Nick Heflin, I guess Pat Downey, Sam Brooks. Ooh, that is not a great weight class. Let's just say that. Okay, let's go. I got Mymar.
Yeah, I got Myles as well. Should be interesting, with Nick Heflin as well. I could see those two guys being in the finals, but I think Myles is definitely a guy. Has he been in the senior level much? I'm trying to remember.
The answer is yes, but nothing's coming to my head right now.
Yeah, because I know he was on the U23 team last year, right?
Maybe just that. Maybe a U20 team or juniors.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't really, off the top of my head, I can't really remember any senior level results for Myles. But obviously he's got all the tangible things that you bring to the table. Yes. So I'm definitely going to go with Myles there.
Okay. So let's go 92. This is going to be a fun one. Bo Nickel, Khaled Moore, Mike Machiavello, Pat Brukey, Riley Lefevre, Timmy McCall.
I'm going to go Nickel.
I'm going to go Nickel also.
Nickel and Machiavello.
Okay. That's going to be, I'm excited to see how Bo Nickel does. I'm interested to see if Bo Nickel can make it competitive with Jaden Cox. That's interesting to me. And then also, is he going to, surely he's not going to go down and wrestle David Taylor next year, right? I mean, that's just not going to happen.
But that's a huge, it's
a huge weight drop too.
I mean, it's going to be a huge weight drop or a huge weight gain. Either way, I mean, he's got a big, a big road ahead of him. Whatever way he goes, either going down or going up, it's going to be equally challenging to either acclimate down a weight class or acclimate up a weight class.
Yeah.
I almost think right now 92 is a perfect weight class for him.
Yeah, no, I totally agreed. Totally agreed. Okay, let's go. 97 kilograms, another not huge weight class. We got Kyvan Gadsden, Ty Walls, Win Mahalik.
So at this point, Mahalik is getting up there a little bit. Not that he's old.
Yeah. He's older though. He's definitely in his 30s.
He is definitely getting older now. I would go with, who are we saying that? Gadsden, right? Gadsden Walls. I'll go Gadsden Walls.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I dig it. All right. What?
How about you?
Oh, sorry. I didn't pick mine. Gadsden.
Okay.
All right. Heavyweight. Adam Kuhn, Tony Nelson. And this is for a spot in Final X, so everyone's here. Derek White, Dom Bradley. Oh, who else we got here? I'm scrolling, Matt. Nick Nevels. Back off.
Is Stevenson in
Yusuf there? Hamida, Tanner Hall. No, I see no Kassar. I see no Gable Stevenson. I see no Nick Kwiatkowski. I'm sure he's already qualified for trials.
Which I would think with Kassar, I would think he would go down to 97. He wouldn't go up.
Yeah.
Right. He's there. All reports are he's weighing right around 230.
Yeah, you would think he
competed at this year.
Yeah. You would think so. Okay, I'll go Adam Kuhn.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
you going Adam Kuhn also
Kuhn as well.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt, we're 4 minutes overtime. That was a fun show. We got to talk about Logan Stieber. Congrats on a great career. Next time, you guys will hear from us. We'll be from Las Vegas, Nevada, the U.S. Open. We'll be doing probably two, Matt. We'll say probably two live podcasts from the studio Matt sets up in his hotel room. It's going to be fantastic.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. See you in Vegas, Matt.
All right, Ben. Take care.